We gather tonight on this beautiful fall evening to honor the achievements of 8 more of Manhattan's finest and 2 outstanding teams being recognized for their collective contribution. Before I turn the program over, I would like to thank several people for making this evening possible. This is a collaboration of the highest caliber between the alumni office and at the athletics department. So many of you are familiar with my colleagues in the alumni office, Ainsley Kelly, our associate director, and Kelly Douglas, our manager. Thank you. Our army of student workers, probably who are the ones cheering for them. On the athletics side, thanks especially to Marianne Riley, our director of intercollegiate athletics, and all of their division, please, yes. And all of their division for the work on keeping our 19 Division I Jasper athletics programs thriving. Of course, all that we do at the college is about our students, and we're pleased to have several student-athlete representatives with us this evening. I might ask if Marianne doesn't, forget it. Thanks also to our campus caterer, Gourmet Dining, for executing this beautiful meal. So please, thank you. And also thank you to Mike McEnany, class of 53, Father Erwin Schweigert, and Music Ministry for organizing Mass earlier this evening. Thank you. Yes, please. And finally, thanks to the members of the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee who put in a great amount of effort in making an event like this a success. Not only does the committee invest their time and energy to review and select our inductees each year, but oftentimes they themselves join others in putting together the nomination material for candidates. The selection committee is rigorous in their expectations of those nominated. A Hall of Famer is not only distinguished by a record of exceptional athletic achievement, but also their significant contributions to the Manhattan College community as students, athletes, alumni, and friends. So on that, we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the committee's chairman, Joe Ryan, class of 81. Joe, I'll invite up in a moment. Joe's been a delight to work with this in his first year as chairman. A couple of things you may not know about Joe. One of his favorite colors is yellow. Wait for it. There you go. He looks good in yellow, I think. Joe recently coached the Guyanese Olympic team for, I think, your 3rd or 4th time, Joe? 3rd, yep. He's essentially been on campus for almost 40 years. Not that we like to bring attention to numbers, but that is close. I figure I'll stay close to the podium and I'll translate anything that Joe might say for those who are unable to understand him. But with that, I give you Joe Ryan, our Athletic Hall of Fame Committee Chairman, to share some of his own remarks. Joe.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah. Well, first, I want to thank Tom for his eloquent remarks as usual. We're going to talk about this after, dinner. It's funny, I kind of feel like I'm part of an Irish relay team here tonight. We have McCarthy leading off, and then he's handing it into the capable hands of Ryan. And then I'm going to turn this over to that force of nature that is sitting down there, Marianne Riley. She was a force of nature on the basketball court, and I can tell you, to work for her, she's also a force of nature as well. And the anchor leg is going to be Marty Collins. And I am so happy to have him back here. Marty, as you know, he's the voice of the Jaspers. And he's been away for a couple of years. But I am so proud to have him back. And, thank you, Marty. And, no pressure. We're going to hand the baton off to you. And you're going to have the toughest leg, okay? So welcome to the 38th Manhattan College Hall of Fame dinner. Happy to announce that we have a record crowd, which nearly put Tom McCarthy into a panic. But I want to acknowledge Steve Kovacs of Gourmet Dining and his crew, who have been very, very accommodating. So for this year, we are inducting 8 deserving individuals and 2 teams whose collective exploits span almost 50 years of competitive athletics at the school. I've almost been here for that length too. It has always been my belief that the Hall of Fame celebration gives us an opportunity to reflect on the history and traditions of our alma mater through the lens of sporting success. Our first inductees set a very, very high standard, And I am certainly grateful to all of the Hall of Fame committee members, past and present, who have given of their time and effort to ensure its continued success. In particular, the work that we have done would not be possible without the hard work of Tom McCarthy and Ainsley Kelly and Kelly Douglas from Alumni Relations. Also want to mention Amy Sirac, our archivist, who was always ready to lend a hand to anybody who was looking to do any sort of research if you wish to make a nomination. Also want to mention sports information. For the past 2 weeks, I know a lot of you have been reading the retrospectives that we've asked Joe Clifford to put up on the Go Jaspers website. And I think Joe has done a great job. And if Joe was here, I would certainly like to acknowledge him. My thanks also to Bo Kusina, who was also a Hall of Famer. I had to fire, Mary Ann Riley when she became the athletic director because she was the co-chair with me. And so I'm very grateful to Bo for coming on board and actually assisting me. Also, too, if there's any veterans in the audience, I would like to acknowledge you. It was Veterans Day yesterday. I actually had the great pleasure to spend yesterday with my father-in-law, who was actually 90 years of age, and he served in the U.S. Navy in World War II. And it was a real honor for me, and I really enjoyed his company, and he was very, very happy. So for those of you out there, I just want to thank you sincerely for your service. Okay. Some new developments. We are announcing a campaign to develop a digital space in Draddy Gymnasium to highlight the achievements of the members of the Hall of Fame. We believe that the achievements of our graduates should be known and should be celebrated, and this space will give us the opportunity to do this. What I would like to tell you is that if anybody is interested in getting involved in this, please see myself or Mary Ann Riley. Okay, right, Mary Ann? After the dinner. We are determined to get this done. We want to celebrate your achievements, and we think that this is a good start. In an effort to create some links with younger members of our community, we've invited a number of student athletes who have made some great contributions to the athletic department. We hope to make this a regular feature of the dinner. I would like to acknowledge those athletes. Where are you? Stand up, please, okay? I've got something to say about them. The young group that you see in front of you are leaders in the athletic community. You may not be aware of this, but currently Manhattan College is #1 in the United States among Division I institutions for volunteerism. And the young people who are before you over there are really responsible for that, because they are the leaders and they're the ones who have to coordinate, 400 athletes. It's very good. And I certainly want to thank you for that. And my thanks to Meg Walsh, our Alumni Society president, for actually sponsoring the table for those athletes. I think that's all. So thank you all for your support and enjoy the evening. That's it, guys, okay? Thank you.
I'm Mary Ann Riley. I'm the athletic director. I have been the athletic director for the past 6 months. I am a Manhattan grad, 1982, played women's basketball, was on the first very varsity team for Manhattan College. So I'm thrilled to be back home, and we're doing some great things in athletics, as you probably will be able to see. The key to being a successful leader is to surround yourself with great people, and we have a terrific administrative staff, and I would just like them to stand and be recognized. Everyone in the athletic department that's in administration. Don't be shy. They are a little shy, though. And now I'd like our coaches, assistant coaches, and head coaches that were able to be with us tonight to also stand. I think it's really important to have our staff here, coaches and administration, when our former student athletes are being inducted into the Hall of Fame, because I think it reconnects us all together and to the past, to the present, and in the future. I would also like to recognize Dr. Richard Satterley, who's our Vice President for Student Life and our voice in the college administration. I would like to recognize him and thank him for his support. And Manhattan College delivers its athletic program with the emphasis on academic success, hence the name student athlete. And tonight we're joined by our faculty athletic representative, Dr. Sean Latta. You know, as Joe said, we're really excited to have our student athletes join us this evening, and you took half my presentation away. But I'm going to put my glasses on for this. You know, their achievements represent all that's good in college athletics today, and what it should be about, being a student athlete. And I can assure you that they are excellent ambassadors for the college on and off the competition site. And as alumni, you should be very proud of what they do every single day to represent our college. We currently have student athletes performing well academically and athletically. Nearly 70% of our student athletes carry a cumulative GPA of 3.0 and higher, which is terrific when you consider the traveling that they do. We finished second in the nation last year, as Joe mentioned, in community service, and currently we lead the nation in community service hours. So the student athletes that were recognized before, one, thank you for coming tonight. Two, get to know them because they're doing some fantastic things. And three, boast about them, because we're doing some really wonderful things, and I think we're so humble we don't go out and talk about how great Manhattan College is and all that our student athletes are doing in the past, in the present, and in the future. So please join me in doing that in the future. As Tom and Joe explained, our history of Manhattan College athletics is rich in tradition, but it's also moving forward with new milestones and new achievements. And as we move forward, we have to remember those who paved the way. So in a moment, I would like to introduce those Hall of Fame members that are with us tonight. But before I do that, I'd like you to take a moment and remember in your thoughts and prayers our great Hall of Famer and our 1952 Olympic gold medalist, Lindy Remigino, class of '53, who's in ill health and is usually here every year but can't be with us tonight. So please keep Lindy in your thoughts and prayers. So when I call your name, please remain standing until I've announced everyone, and I hope I don't miss anyone. Richard Alexander, track and field, class of 1981. Robert Burns, football, class of 1968, our former athletic director. Billy Campion, basketball, class of 1975, and our newest MAC honor roll inductee. I don't know where Billy is, but he was here before. Tom Delaney, rowing, class of 1971. Fred Dwyer, the infamous Fred Dwyer, national champion track coach. LaCole Fields, football, 1967. Excuse me, LaCole Fields, track and field, class of 2000. I'm sorry, I made you a little older. Roger Frieda, football, 1967. Dahlia Henry Tet, track and field, class of 1996. Bo Kusina, soccer, class of 1981. Tom Lindgren, soccer, class of 1978. John Lovett, track and field, national champion and five-time All-American, class of 1973, and current assistant track coach. Pat McGrath, track and field, class of 1995, 2000 Olympian. John Moran, track and field, 1950. Jack Carey, who I think left, baseball, 1956. Tom O'Connor, baseball, 1961. Allian Pompey, track and field, class of 1999. First Jasper female to win an NCAA title and multiple Olympic appearances. Richard Prezio, football, 1968. Michael Quigley, baseball, 1972. Jerry Ryan, track and field, 1990. Lauren St. Clair, track and field, 1961. Sophia Tasker, track and field, 1997. Dr. Lisa Toscano, basketball, 1979. And trailblazer for women's sports here and current professor. Gina Soma, basketball, 1996. Tiffany Poole, track and field, class of 2000. John Moran, baseball, class of 1950. And we want to give a warm welcome to those whose accomplishments were marked by team recognitions over the years. So if you're here with us, please stand. And we hope we didn't neglect to mention any other Hall of Famers that might be among us that I did not mention. Thank you for all that you have done for Manhattan College Athletic. Oh, me, all right. But I'm already standing. Just thank you for all you've done on your competition site and all the things that you continue to do for our student athletes. Appreciate that. So a round of applause for everybody. And now it's my pleasure to turn the program over to the voice of Manhattan College Athletics, Jaspers, Marty Collins. Thank you, everybody, and I really do hope you enjoy tonight. I think it's great to be part of the club of the Hall of Famers. But even if you're not part of the club of the Hall of Famers, I really do, those that friends and family do go around and talk about all the things that Manhattan College is trying to achieve athletically and academically. So thank you again for being with us tonight.
Pleasure. It's an honor to be here, and I want to thank Mary Ann Raleigh and Joe Ryan and Tom McCarthy very much for asking me to be here. It's an honor to be here, and thank you very much. Let's get right down to business with our first teams, the 2006 baseball team. And in the long history of Manhattan College athletics, few teams are as celebrated as the 2006 baseball squad. Led by MAC and Northeast Regional Coach of the Year, Kevin Layton, the 2006 Jasper baseball team achieved a 34-23 record, the most wins in program history, and went on to make their first NCAA tournament appearance in nearly 50 years. Manhattan set records along the way for runs scored, 354, doubles, 96, home runs, 44, stolen bases, 100, ERA, and strikeouts. The opening game of the season was a harbinger of things to come. Taking on number 15 Tulane, Chris Cody tossed a complete game shutout, striking out 10 batters in a 1-0 victory. Manhattan went on to notch a 12-12 record in a highly competitive non-conference slate before finishing the season 17-9 in the MAC. After taking 2 out of 3 on the road against perennial powerhouse Lemoyne, Manhattan needed to win the final series of the regular season at Canisius to make the MAC tournament. The Jaspers and Griffs split the doubleheader, but the Jaspers scored 24 runs in the rubber game to take the series and clinch the playoff spot. Jesse Darcy tossed a 5-0 shutout against Ryder in the first game of the MAC tournament before Cody struck out 12 in a 3-2 win over Lemoyne that moved the Jaspers into the championship round. Manhattan defeated Lemoyne 7-3 to secure its first ever MAC title. The Jaspers went on to Lincoln, Nebraska for the tournament and drew the host Cornhuskers, the number 6 team in the country, in the first game. Chris Cody got the start and went toe-to-toe with future Yankees pitcher Jabba Chamberlain in front of over 8,000 fans. On the strength of back-to-back home runs by Matt Rosati and John Fitzpatrick and Cody's complete game, Manhattan pulled off the upset 4-1. After losing to Miami in the next game, the Jaspers posted a 6-4 win over San Francisco to move into the regional final, where they fell to Miami again, ending one of the most memorable seasons in program history. Chris Cody and John Fitzpatrick both earned All-American status. Cody went 12-2 with 9 complete games, 105 strikeouts, and a 1.42 ERA, while Fitzpatrick crushed 18 homers and tallied 66 RBIs. Matt Rosati hit .340. Cody, Fitzpatrick, and Nick Durba were all named to both the All-MAC first team and the MAC All-Tournament team, where they were joined by Dom Lombardi and MAC Tournament MVP Eric Nieto. The 2006 baseball team included Mike Garcia, Matt Springer, Rene Ruiz, Pat Reynolds, Ryan Marcoe, John Reynolds, Dom Lombardi, Matt Nevins, Kyle Wirtz, John Fitzpatrick, Ruben Perez, Joe Francese, Jeremy Shaw, Joe Cullen, Brian Fulcher, Nick Durba, Chris Cody, Ryan Masters, Eric Nieto, Jesse Darcy, Nunzio Francese, Matt Rosati, Joe Fitzpatrick, Renee Guerra, Mike Gazzola, Eric Lucas, Josh Santier, Mark Giordano, Brian Searles, Jordan Dutton, Angel Aponte, assistant coach Ryan Darcy's, and Mike Cole, and head coach Kevin Layton. We are proud to induct into the Hall of Fame this evening the 2006 Jaspers baseball team. Our next inductee is the 1995-96 women's basketball team. In 1995, the women's basketball team reached the semifinals of the MAC tournament as the number 7 seed. That proved to be a glimpse of what was to come the following year. Led by MAC Player of the Year, Gina Soma, the Jaspers went 19-11, won the third MAC title in program history, and qualified for the NCAA tournament. The Jaspers averaged a school record 78.5 points per game and broke the 100-point barrier 3 times, including a memorable 115-point effort in a win over Canisius. Manhattan also established a program record with 7 consecutive wins from January 28th through February 18th. Individually, Soma put together one of the great years in program history. She was named All-American, scoring 768 points, a program record, ranking 3rd nationally in scoring average with 25.6 points per game. Wanda Camps, Amy Gottschalk, and Tanya Obi were all second-team All-MAC selections, while Kristen Roberts earned a place on the MAC All-Rookie team. After going 11-3 in conference play, the Jaspers opened the MAC tournament with a 93-76 victory over Siena. Manhattan then knocked off defending champion Loyola 63-56 in the semis to set up a matchup with Fairfield in the title game. The Jaspers, who put up 105 points on Fairfield in the last game of the regular season, routed the Stags 92-66 to win the 3rd MAC title in program history, and the first since 1990. Camps had 28 points in the championship game and was named MAC Tournament MVP. I remember it well. Manhattan received the number 14 seed in the MAC in the NCAA tournament and went to Charlottesville, Virginia, where the season came to an end against the University of Virginia. The Jaspers' 19 victories were one shy of the program record. So we recognize with special recognition tonight the Lady Jaspers 1995-96 MAC Championship squad of Wanda Camps, Allison Cropley, Amy Gottschalk, Sally Lavender, Robin McCrimmon, Laura McGlynn, Kyra Morell, Tanya Obi, Kirsten Roberts, Nikki Sanders, Tracy Sims, Gina Soma, Larisse Watson, Tamara Williams, assistant coach Brenton Birmingham, assistant coach Jody Powell, and head coach Michelle Sharp. Ladies, please come forward and be recognized. We proudly induct you into the Hall of Fame this evening. Our first individual inductee is Luis Custodio, class of 1982. One of the most dynamic scorers in Manhattan College men's soccer history, Luis Custodio still holds the program record for number of goals in a game and season. The former student athlete is also second on the Jaspers' all-time list with 29 career goals, a total that would have been likely higher had he been able to play his freshman year, but could not due to a leg injury. After finally taking the field in 1979, Custodio quickly established himself as Manhattan's go-to striker, despite his coming to Riverdale as a central midfielder. On October 16th of that year, he scored a program record 5 times in a victory over NYU. Custodio ended the 1979 campaign with 11 goals, which earned him a place on the All-Metropolitan Conference first team. He was named first-team All-Conference again in 1980 after tying the single-season program record with 16 goals. Custodio also received All-New York State honorable mention as the Jaspers posted a 9-5-2 record and finished third in the conference. Manhattan posted a winning record again in 1981, when Custodio moved back to the midfield position and saw his goal production go down as a result. In the winter of 1979-80, Manhattan established its first ever indoor soccer team, and Custodio starred in that squad too. He led the team with 7 goals and 8 assists as the Jaspers went 13-6-1. Manhattan participated in 3 major tournaments: the Marist Invitational, the Pratt Tournament, and the prestigious Cronenberg Invitational, and earned 2 third-place finishes while also competing in 1 final round. Originally from Lisbon, Portugal, Custodio moved to Yonkers in 1976 and quickly became heavily ingrained in his adopted hometown's soccer scene. He's coached many years for the Yorktown Youth Soccer League and has held various board positions, including president with the Yonkers Portuguese soccer team. In addition, Custodio was the Portuguese Civic Association's New York State 1997 Person of the Year. Luis Custodio's accomplishments both on and off the field have been a great source of pride, and it's a pleasure for us tonight to welcome Luis as the 246th member of the Manhattan College Athletic Hall of Fame. Luis, please come forward and be recognized.
Marty, I always wanted to have a voice like yours. Let me lower this a little bit. I used to be 5'9", but I'm now 5'7.5". You know, every time I go to the doctor for that annual physical, I lose 1/4 of an inch. You know, I got to stop going for that annual physical. But in any event, look, it's really thrilling to be here tonight, and I'm very excited, and I'm very humbled to be getting this honor. You know, it's I'm really very appreciative of a lot of people, and I'm going to name a few throughout the night. But I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me this year. Very appreciative of that. I want to say hello also to President O'Donnell. And I want to congratulate my fellow 2016 inductees and all the famers in the room, as well as the baseball and the women's basketball team that are being recognized here tonight. Last but not least, I would like to thank my family and my friends, my coaches, and fellow teammates. I have been really blessed with a tremendous family and a circle of friends equal to none. A lot of them are down at that end. So my wife Terry, our 3 wonderful sons, Matt, Mark, and Jonathan, who's in Tinseltown. And then my mom, my sister, my mother-in-law, and I know that my dad and my father-in-law are also looking down on us with a certain level of pride. And I want to thank them for being here with me tonight to celebrate this special moment in my life. So let me share a little bit about my story, my journey to Manhattan. I can honestly say that I pretty much grew up, playing soccer in my native Portugal. I remember being a kid. That's basically all I did. Every waking hour, if I was not at the beach or at the school, I was playing soccer. And, things were a little bit tough when we had to immigrate to the United States in 1976. But, everything's got a reason. And frankly, my career here in the States got off to a pretty good start. 2 very successful years in high school at Yonkers High School. And if you know anything about Yonkers High School, you know that it's pretty demanding to be successful there. And then adversity kind of knocked a little bit with as you heard Marty mention, a serious leg injury, and so kind of turned things a little bit upside down. And that's when Coach Dolph Rotter came into the picture. Despite the injury that I had, Coach Rotter knew that I really wanted to come to Manhattan. He never gave up on me, and he took a huge chance in recruiting me to Manhattan. And sometimes I reflect back on life events, and I think we all go through a number of forks in the road in our life journey, and that was a critical one for me. And Coach Rotter, thank you very much. I don't think you really ever understood what you did for me and the impact that you had in my life.
Now, most of my soccer career at Manhattan was under the leadership of Coach Bo Sheskovich. Coach's Bo, soccer acumen is really off the charts, tremendous tactician, a set play visionary. Coach Bo instilled, a really well-balanced mix of fun and discipline playing the game. Always one of our biggest cheerleaders on and off the field. Never-ending pouring of confidence in our capabilities. And I owe these two coaches a great debt of gratitude for their impact on my life and really who I am as an individual. And I think it's appropriate that I ask them to graciously accept sharing this award with me. And I think my two sons are off to the table to give you a small token of my appreciation. Thank you very much, coaches. You guys were fantastic. Last but not least, I want to say a few words about our current coach, Jordan Scott, and his assistants, Evan and Chris, who are here in the room. As an alumnus, I've really come to appreciate the passion that he has in terms of reinvigorating the soccer alumni community and reigniting all of us. And, his energy, their energy is really contagious and inspirational. And I know that Coach Scott is often in Europe, I think, trying to recruit some new talent. So I know that he would love to be here, but he's not here tonight. He sent me a really nice note, and I just want to express my sincere thanks to Coach Scott, Evan, and Chris for just doing an outstanding job with the current program, rebuilding it. So thank you, guys. And I just want to go through a few fond memories that I had at Manhattan. Of course, who can forget, playing games at Van Cortlandt Park and later at Gaelic Park, fields that were laden with glass, rocks, holes, and aluminum cans. It made Ghost Pastures look like Wembley Stadium, frankly. And the fun part of playing there really was trying to guess where the ball was going to go. Once it hit the ground, you never knew which way it was going to go. And one time we actually had a game at Bakersfield against Columbia, which was like a pristine pitch. And I think we all thought that we had died and gone to heaven, playing in that turf, So it was really outstanding. I want to also kind of mention a couple of other things. Our team captain and fellow Hall of Famer, Bo Kusina. Bo was a fantastic captain. His demeanor at times oscillated a little bit between, Colonel Klink and Captain Kangaroo, but he always wore his jersey on his sleeves, passionate about the sport and about the Jaspers, and relentlessly caring about his teammates. And Bo, you've been a tremendous friend for all of us. And of course, you heard a little bit about the Cronenberg tournament. That was really kind of our finest moment. This tournament was riddled with some of the top names in college soccer. Everyone expected that we would just be easy pickings, and wow, were they wrong? We had a huge Cinderella run, and we embarrassed a lot of big name teams and reached the finals and actually came really close to winning it all. The leadership, the faculty, they really kind of flourished in my life, and really took a lot of what my parents had taught me, a lot of the values that they had given me as a foundation, and really made me a great student, a great athlete, and a great professional. And it's thanks to Manhattan that I've been blessed with a terrific life so far. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. God bless you.
Our next inductee is Lisa Daly, class of 1993. Lisa did not run in high school. She didn't begin competitive track and field until she enrolled at Bronx Community College. But she had natural ability, which is how she became one of the greatest female sprinters in Manhattan college history. During her time in Riverdale, Lisa Daly was involved in 10 school records, including 3 individual marks, and she surpassed her own standard several times. 4 of the records she contributed to are still standing. Her first record for the college, a 40-30 second clocking in the 300 meters, was set during her junior campaign. Daly was also a member of the sprint medley relay squad that set a record of 4 minutes in the 1992 Princeton Relays. At the 1992 ECAC Indoor Championships in Syracuse, Daly was part of the distance medley relay team that won Manhattan's first ever ECAC relay title. The quartet's time of 11:50.73 established a school record that still stands. Daly then went on to set the individual indoor 400-meter record, only to break it at the following year's ECAC Indoor Championships. She achieved the same feat at the ECAC Outdoor Championships, setting a school record in the 400 as a junior before breaking it again as a senior. Daly eventually became a New York City public interest lawyer, but did not relinquish her running career. She found incredible success at the Masters level, winning numerous national championships and setting an American Masters record in the 400-meter hurdles. Since 2005, Daly has won a total of 12 medals at the World Masters Championships. In fact, she just this morning arrived back in New York after competing in Perth, Australia. Yes, we dropped that in. Representing the United States at her 9th Masters World Championship, and brought home a silver and bronze medal for her individual events, and a silver as a member of the 4x4 relay team. So her luggage was a little heavier on the plane back to the Bronx this evening. And in a career that spans nearly 3 decades, Lisa Daly, class of 1993, has left an indelible and continued mark on the women's track and field program, and one that earns her a place as the 247th member of Manhattan College's Athletic Hall of Fame. Please come forward and be recognized.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and privilege to receive this award. I'd like to start out by thanking Lisa Toscano, Joe Ryan, and Allian Pompey for their nomination, and also to the nominating committee for selecting me. Thank you very much. To Leslie Hogg for recommending Manhattan College, and then ever so slightly nudging me because it was his alma mater as well. It was one of the best decisions that I made. He was right. Manhattan College is a small college. It was personal, and it gave me the best academic achievements that I've ever had in my entire life. To Joe Ryan, thank you. You honed my athletic skills to another level, and I'm forever grateful. To Coach Fred Dwyer, although you did not actually coach me, thank you for helping me to strive to not be a wuss. You started that journey of mental toughness, and that's a journey that I continue to live every day. To my friends, my fellow Jasper teammates, my Masters track and field family, having you here makes this a truly special evening. I'd like to give a huge thank you to my family, especially to my brothers, Kirk and Ryan, who are here tonight. But I'd like to dedicate this award to my mother, Valerie. She's the reason for this award. From an early age growing up in Jamaica, she encouraged my athletic interests, especially in track and field. From early on, she was my greatest cheerleader, a role she still has even to this day. She's the ultimate track mom. You can find my mom at the right spot. I'm a 400-meter runner, so you'll find my mom at the 300-meter mark telling me to lift my arms, drive, and run for home. Most recently, at the World Masters Athletic Championships in Perth, Australia, it was my mom's cheers and support that got me through the hardest championship that I've ever had. On October 2nd, just 3 weeks before leaving for Perth, in a freak accident, I tore my rotator cuff in 2 places. So basically, I went to Perth running in pain and not being able to drive my arm. As everyone knows, you need both arms to kind of get around those turns. But when I felt like giving up, it was my mom who was there cheering me through the pain and willing me to give my all. Without her support, I would not have been able to do as well as I've done. I earned 2 silver medals and a bronze medal while representing Team USA. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my coach, Gilbert Saunders. He's my current coach. Since 2005, he built on the athletic foundation that was laid here at Manhattan College and has made me an incredibly successful master's athlete. Thank you, Coach Saunders. I remember going to Coach Saunders on October 8th and telling him, Coach, I have something to tell you. And he said, what? I said, well, I have good news and I have bad news. So he says, well, what's the good news? I said, well, I'm still going to Perth. He says, well, what's the bad news? I said, well, I have a rotator cuff tear in 2 places, so I can't really train for the hurdles the way that you want. But I also said to my coach, don't change the workouts. I don't want a pity party. We're just going to work through this. And he did. And I thank him for all the success that I had in Perth. Manhattan College, wearing the Kelly green and white, has taught me a lot. As a student athlete, I learned to work hard. I learned that dedication and commitment is important. I learned that giving up is not an option. And I'm very grateful for the tools that I've learned here at Manhattan College. It has helped me through life. It has helped me pick the right people in my life, and I'll be forever grateful. Thank you.
Jasmine Donato, class of 2001. When Jasmine joined the Manhattan College women's tennis team, it was a watershed moment for the program. Her arrival marked the start of the greatest era in program history, and she completely rewrote the record books during her time in Riverdale. Before Jasmine Donato, no Jasper had won more than 85 career matches, and she ended her student-athlete career in tennis with 124 total victories and 64 singles wins. Along with Nanoxie Chavez Geller, she was part of the most dominant doubles tandem in school history. As head coach Jeff Weichner said, she made Manhattan College competitive and relevant in collegiate tennis. Donato was the single biggest reason our program reached the competitive level in the Northeast that it did. Even more impressive, her impact was immediate. Donato played either number 1 or 2 singles from the moment she stepped on campus, and she reached the finals at number 1 singles in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference MAC Championships in October 1997, just 6 weeks after starting her freshman year. She was also a MAC doubles finalist in 1998 and participated in the ITA East Regionals in both singles and doubles in 1997 and 98. Donato also won both singles and doubles titles in the Metropolitan Collegiate Tennis Championships during her illustrious career. After finishing third in the MAC during each of her first 3 seasons, Manhattan made its first ever MAC championship in Donato's senior year. Despite coming up just 1 match short of the NCAA tournament, the 2001 season was a remarkable one for the Jaspers. Manhattan set a program record with 13 wins, including a team record 7 straight, against only 4 losses. Donato was the captain of that squad, the second time her teammates had selected her for that role. She was also twice recognized as the team's most outstanding performer and received the Jasper Award in 2001. Jasmine Donato, class of 2001, established many firsts for the Manhattan College women's tennis program. Tonight, she adds 1 more as she becomes the first women's tennis player inducted. And so we welcome Jasmine as the 248th member of the Manhattan College Athletic Hall of Fame.
It is an honor for me to stand here today as an inductee into the 2016 Manhattan College Athletic Hall of Fame. Earlier this year, when Peter Sweeney contacted me, I was shocked, to say the least. It was an email I never expected. First and foremost, I would like to thank my sponsors, Bob Burns and Peter Sweeney, for their time and efforts in researching my statistics and for nominating me. I'd also like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. I'm honored and humbled to be a member of this organization. I first started playing tennis because my father first started playing tennis because of my father. Sorry. My father loved tennis and put a racket in my hand at the age of 8. He was a new immigrant from Peru and a small business owner, often working 12 to 14-hour days, 6 to 7 days a week. Despite his exhausting schedule, he always made it a priority to rush home and play tennis with me. My father passed away over a decade ago, but I'm so grateful that he was able to watch my college tennis career. I will never forget the proud smile that came across his face when I won a big match. I can still picture him standing there, wearing his lucky green collared shirt, winking at me as I shook my opponent's hand. My successes are a result of the countless hours my parents spent driving me around the tri-state area to practices and tournaments. Thank you, Mom. They knew that tennis could help pave the way to a college education, but they wanted to make sure that I would be in good hands. We were blessed to meet Coach Jeff Weichner in my junior year of high school. He instantly clicked with me and my family. Coach Jeff was the epitome of what a coach should be. He encouraged, pushed, and supported me in every practice and match. And academically, he wore many hats: coach, mentor, tutor, and friend. Even though he was studying law full-time while coaching tennis, he was never off the clock. His team came first. His door was always open, anytime and anywhere. Manhattan College gave me the unique opportunity to receive a first-rate education while also developing as an athlete. In 4 short years, I made lifelong memories and friends. I currently live just minutes away from another Manhattan College tennis alum, Gretchen Zay, in North Carolina. It has been a joy to watch our kids grow up together. Now that my daughter, Julia, has started taking tennis lessons, I'm wishing and hoping, as all parents do, that she'll stick to the sport. If she's lucky enough to play college tennis, I hope she gets to play at a place like Manhattan College, with supportive teammates and amazing mentors. I know tennis does not draw the biggest crowds, or any crowds, but for the student athletes, the experience is no less special. Playing tennis and going to college here has had a profound impact on my life. Thank you to my parents, my coaches, the athletic department at Manhattan College for this amazing opportunity. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Mark Hurst, class of 1979. Mark Hurst was one of the best hurdlers the Manhattan College track and field program has ever produced. But he was much more than just a hurdler. He competed in a number of events during his time in Riverdale and was a key part of the Jaspers' success in the late 1970s. Mark Hurst was one of the most versatile performers on the team. Not only did he boast a personal best of 6'8" in the high jump, he was also one of Manhattan's top sprinters. Head coach Fred Dwyer often entered him in as many as 5 different events at a dual meet, proving the broad range of his talents. At the Penn Relays, he raced 6 times, including the preliminaries and finals. Hurst's best event, though, was the 400 hurdles. He twice qualified for the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association Championships and represented Manhattan at the 1976 National Junior Championships. At the 1976 and 1980 U.S. Olympic trials, Hurst competed in the 400 hurdles as well. Included in his repertoire of athletic achievements are multiple Metropolitan Conference Championship wins in the 400 meters, 400-meter hurdles, 120-yard hurdles, and the 4x400-meter relay. He also captured 4 All-East selections. While finishing second in the 400 hurdles at the 1979 IC4A Outdoor Championships, Hurst set a Manhattan College record of 50.7 seconds. This was one of 6 school records and 3 individual marks Hurst set during his time as a Division I student athlete. He remains the program record holder in both the sprint medley relay and the 240-yard shuttle hurdles. Beyond his achievements on the track, Hurst is remembered for his exuberance and strong work ethic. His commitment to success was infectious, and it made him a role model for his teammates, many of whom are now Hall of Fame members themselves. They learned through his example what it took to set the bar for dedication and outstanding achievement. An outstanding leader and a tremendous all-around athlete, it's time for him to receive a long overdue honor. Mark Hurst, class of 1979, please come forward and take your place as the 249th member of the Manhattan College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Oh my goodness, thank you very much. Thank you. Friends, thank you for showing up. Joe, I want to thank you very much for nominating me and keeping in mind what I did. I was going to make some prepared remarks, but I figured the best way to do it is just to speak from my heart. And the one thing I say about Manhattan College, they were always there for me. When in my senior year of high school, I injured my leg, and for a while I was the belle. The ball was getting all these scholarship offers. Then I injured my leg, and suddenly the phone stopped ringing. But the one school that always was there, the one school that was always saying, "Look, we got a scholarship for you here if that's where you want to come." I said, "Well, I don't know if I'm ever going to run again." And they were like, "It's your scholarship." And and that tells me all I need to know about it. But once I got to the school, I was even more impressed. I was recruited by DeWitt Thompson, who was the assistant coach. He was regaling me about all the history of Manhattan College, about all the great alumni, and then I found out that there were a lot of sports that I was interested in. Baseball, Manhattan College had a long history. In football, the sneaker game. Almost every sport, Manhattan College was like one of the top programs in metropolitan sports and in sports in the metropolitan area. And when I got here, it was almost like joining the Yankees. When I came here, now I know what somebody becomes a center fielder. You may not be Mickey Mantle, but you play this position, and you had access to all that, and that became part of your legacy and part of your history. And the one thing you wanted to do was to contribute to that legacy, to make your mark, no matter how small or meager, or you want to be a part of it. And when I coach, that's one of the things that I preach to our kids. This is your legacy. You're as a team. As a team, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And if you contribute to that and you go forward, you'll never go wrong. Like I said, I'd like to thank the alumni and as well as the people that were mentoring me when I got here. Ken Norton was the athletic director. Historic coach, really fine gentleman. Jack Powers, an amazing man. Again, he took over the athletic program. Doc Johnson, who was like a surgeon with ice. My God. He was amazing. He kept us all going. But the most amazing person I met was Betty. She was the office manager. She kept the whole circus going. She was the one that ran everything. And then I met Coach Dwyer. Then I decided to come anyway. But no, just kidding. I mean, I practically lived in Coach Dwyer's office. He would sit there, and you know, unfortunately, we had the same type of humor. And I figured I would try to preserve the rest of the team from that, and, you know, and block that. But again, as Blanche Dubois says, I find myself depending upon the kindness of strangers. Those people all contributed to where I was and where I was going to. We had a lot of alumni coming in, you know, very high, like Ted McBride, who was a Pan Am Games champion. Tony Colon, who was part of the world record disability. They would all come back. They would all come back and mentor us and tell us, you know, and let us know that we were part of their legacy and everything like that. And so that's why I want to, at least in some way, contribute to that. And so at this point, I want to just thank all the people that helped me get here. My sister Lori, who was, even though she's only this tall, she was part megaphone because I could hear her voice even when we were at pin relays. I mean, 70,000 people, and I could hear her voice above the crowd. The Alumni Association of the Track and Field Alumni Association, who are true road warriors. I swear, if I got into a meet in Mars, they'd have a section over there with the alumni who bought tickets. Again, and my teammates, Richie Alexander and Joe. Joe was one of the one thing I loved about Joe, he was the leadoff leg, and I knew if Joe was leading off, we were going to be in first. He was going to hand off the stick in the lead. So, I mean, he was like one of the most dependable runners, and he was also one of my best friends. And the thing about Joe is when Coach Dwyer said he was going to Ireland to recruit, I was like, great. You know, Ireland's known for their distance runners. Ron Delaney, Eamon Coughlin. Yeah, you see where I'm going. Fred comes back with a bow-legged sprinter named Joe, who was one of my best friends and one of my dearest brothers and everything like that. And so, you know, I want to thank you. I mean, at a certain point when I was at Manhattan, it was kind of like being at the land of misfit toys, but it worked. We had all these crazy personalities and all these crazy people, but it worked because it was a brotherhood. We all pulled for each other. When we were on the road, we had a great time with everybody and everything like that. And you know, I actually pitied people that weren't part of what we were doing. And after I graduated, I mean, I wore my Manhattan College on my sleeve. I was always telling people, oh yeah, I went to Manhattan College. And the part that I love, people would come and say, oh, you went to Manhattan Community College? I would say, so now I give them the opportunity to educate them about Manhattan, so I can go out there and boast for the next hour or so. So I loved it when they try to get that part confused, because believe me, by the end of that sentence, they know about Manhattan College. But like I said, as Coach Dwyer knows, I can go on and on. And you know, it's getting late at night. We have several other people, but the one person I want to say that I most dedicate, that I will thank the most, the person that's been with me, my wife of 40 years, which makes her 29. When I first met her, she was not exactly a track person, but she was a me person, and she loved me enough to learn the sport, and she's been with me ever since. And and Pamela, here's to you. I know it's my parents passed away a couple of years ago, but I know they're here in spirit. And one of my proudest moments was when I was in my senior year at the Block M dinner. I wasn't here, but my parents attended, because I was at the AAU championships in California that day, and my mother came back. When I came back from California, I was talking to my mom. My mom and pop were basically walking 5 feet above the ground, because they said such nice things about you. They couldn't believe, they were so happy and so proud. My father's chest grew like 5 feet in the air. I mean, he was really so happy and so proud. And again, thank you very much, Manhattan, for that. I mean, you're more than just a team. You're more than just a college I went to. You're an extended family, and I would love to introduce you. This is my family here, family and friends, and this is a big reunion for me, and thank you very much for. And me and Joe, and later on, me and Joe will be over there and tell you the real dirty stories about Manhattan Girls. Thank you very much.
Our next inductee is Jillian Medea, class of 2006. Fans, if you were to glance at the Manhattan College softball record book, you'll see Jillian Medea's name all across the pitching categories. One of the most prolific hurlers ever to don a Jasper's uniform, she's still the program's all-time leader in strikeouts, shutouts, appearances, and complete games. The true definition of a staff ace, Jillian left her mark on the college the moment she arrived on campus, leading the team in ERA, innings pitched, and strikeouts as a freshman. The next season, she pitched in 32 of the Jaspers' 49 games, starting 30, and tossed 27 complete games. Medea recorded 187 strikeouts to shatter the school record and posted a team-best 1.87 ERA in 209 innings pitched. She also tallied 11 wins and had a streak of 24 consecutive scoreless innings. On the strength of Medea's arm, Manhattan went 9-7 in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference that season and qualified for the MAC tournament. It was the team's first winning record in conference play since 1995. She started and completed all but one of those contests to earn second team All-MAC honors. In 2005, the Jaspers again qualified for the MAC tournament with a 9-7 record. Medea appeared in 37 of Manhattan's 49 games, starting 29 and completing 23. She went 16-13 as a junior and notched 174 strikeouts to go along with 8 shutouts and a 2.24 ERA. Medea pitched the Jaspers 2 doubleheader sweeps over Fairfield, Ryder, and St. Peter's and had 2 10-strikeout games, contributing to Manhattan's all-time leader in that category. As a senior, she anchored the Manhattan pitching staff and led the team to a 26-24 record, their most victories since 1994, and first winning season since '95. Medea was credited with 16 of those wins, bringing her career total to 43. She struck out 111 batters in 2006, giving her 514 for her career. In addition, her 13 career shutouts are a MAC record. Medea also exemplified the student half of student athlete. She was named to the Dean's List every semester and earned 3 MAC all-academic team selections. A cum laude graduate of the School of Business, Medea was named next in merit for the Professor William P. Kane Medal for Computer Information Systems. A dominant performer on the field whose work was just as stellar in the classroom. Jillian Medea, class of 2006, is the model Manhattan College student athlete. It's only fitting she takes her place tonight as the 250th member of the college's Hall of Fame. Jillian, please come forward and be recognized.
Good evening. Thanks, Marty. First, I'd like to congratulate my fellow 2016 inductees. This is a truly great honor for all of us, and I feel humbled and blessed to be included. I want to thank my family and friends for coming out to support me tonight. My coach, Jen Fisher, her husband, Frank, and parents, Chris and Joyce. My close family friends, Jack Mellon and Mike Venn, and my fellow Jersey teammates, Morgan Langen and Deirdre Sperduti. And a special thank you to Barbara Lawrence and his wife, Barbara Mead, for all of their efforts in making this incredibly meaningful award possible for me. My softball career in Manhattan began with a bit of a rocky start. The coach who recruited me out of high school left prior to my arrival at Manhattan, and my freshman year coach only lasted 1 season. We ended that year with only 8 wins. Fortunately for our program, Coach Jen Fisher was hired my sophomore season. Coach Fisher showed us that through dedication, discipline, and hard work, we could become a successful team. By her season, we had tripled the amount of wins from my freshman year and had become yearly contenders in the postseason playoffs. Coach Fisher placed a tremendous amount of faith in me as a pitcher, and there was no doubt in my mind that without her support, I would not have been able to achieve this level of success. The bond Coach Fisher and I formed over my years in Manhattan forged a lifelong friendship, and to this day, I'm proud to call her my best friend. Today, the Jasper softball program is truly flourishing under the guidance of Coach Tom Pardalis. I'm proud to be a small part of the Manhattan College softball program and look forward to cheering them on to great success in the future. I'd like to thank my former athletic director, Mr. Bob Burns, for all of his efforts to elevate women's sports during tenure. He has been an intricate part of the success of Manhattan College athletic programs. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge two very passionate Jasper fans, Richard Lawrence and Barbara Mead. They started out as basketball fans, but after bumping into a few of my teammates at a basketball game selling raffle tickets, they were persuaded into coming out to support our team that spring. Well, it's been over 10 years, and Barbara and Rich can still be found at the top of Gaelic Park cheering on the Lady Jaspers. I have no doubt the team continues to appreciate all your support. It's important for me to also mention the quality education I received here in Manhattan. My choice to attend Manhattan was not made solely because of athletics, but because of the education and well-rounded experience it provided. As a student athlete, I was chosen to MAC All-Academic Team 3 years in a row. Between the guidance of the late Cynthia O'Donnell, Dean Suarez, and many of my professors, I was very well prepared. My education led me to a great career in working in IT in one of the big 4 accounting firms. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents, Darylyn and Bill, as they supported me from the time I was 8 years old, picking daisies in the outfield in my first baseball game, to the final pitch in my last game against Canisius. My dad was always there for me, especially when it came to catching. When I started pitching in 3rd grade, he used only a glove. In 5th grade, he wore shin guards, and by high school, he was in full gear. So I've had all those bruises, Dad. At least Mom thinks you have great legs. My mom always encouraged me in all that I did. She was my biggest supporter. Whether I had a good day pitching or not, she was my rock. She was, like many moms, my guidance counselor, social secretary, and personal chef and wardrobe consultant all rolled into one. I knew I could always could count on her to keep things running smoothly. Best of all, my parents instilled in me an excellent work ethic to do my best. But no matter how well I performed in a game, this enabled me the self-confidence needed in both on the pitcher's mound and life in general. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Finally, I'd like to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to the Manhattan College Alumni Relations Office, as well as the Athletic Hall of Fame Committee for making this evening one of the most significant experiences of my life. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Robert O'Brien, class of 1961. Of all the greats on George Eastman's legendary Manhattan College track and field teams of the 1960s, Robert Bob O'Brien may have been the most versatile. The team's workhorse, he was called upon to contribute wherever needed and scored points in 10 different events during his career. In addition to being a standout individual track and field athlete, Bob O'Brien was dedicated to the success of the team as a whole. His teammates' success was his success. It's because of this personal greatness and all-around commitment that he was awarded the Manhattan College Spiked Shoe Club Most Valuable Athlete Trophy in 1961. Scoring points in 10 events during his career, O'Brien's best event was the long jump. He set a school record of 24 feet to win the 1961 IC4A Indoor Championship, and also captured the IC4A medals in the triple jump and 1 mile relay. In addition, he once finished 3rd in the individual long jump at the New York Athletic Club meet, behind 1960 Olympic gold medalist Ralph Boston, and ahead of the Soviet Union's Igor Ter-Ovanesyan, a 2-time Olympic bronze medalist. O'Brien was also on the Jaspers 440-yard relay squad that upset Villanova with world record holders Frank Budd and Paul Drayton at the Quantico Relays. More than 50 years later, he still has yet to hang up his spikes. O'Brien has competed at the Masters level for over 20 years, won numerous titles, and set several records. At the 2011 USA Masters National Indoor Meet, Bob finished 3rd in the long jump, 4th in the triple jump, and 6th in the 200 meters. The 1960s were a golden era for Manhattan track and field program and produced a number of Hall of Famers. Tonight, another joins the ranks. Bob O'Brien, class of 1961. Welcome to the Manhattan College Athletic Hall of Fame as its 251st member.
Well, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge my fellow inductees, as well as those existing Hall members in the audience. I feel very proud and honored to be one of you. I'd very much like to thank Ed Kennedy, Bob Mattis, Tom McCarthy, and Ashley Kelly, who made my nomination possible and actively supported my election. And also a special shout out to my friends and family who have come here tonight to help me celebrate. I'm especially pleased to have two of my former teammates here tonight also, Larry St. Clair and Tom Green. As with a lot of us, the road travel to the Hall took some very unexpected turns. As a boy growing up, my main love and preoccupation was baseball. I played on organized teams since I was 8 years old and into high school. However, when I went to high school, I also had this secret desire to see if I could break a minute for the quarter mile. It was called the 440 in those days. I tried a number of times to do it. Well, in my gym class one day, when everyone was inside doing an organized drill, I was on the track timing myself, only to get caught and scolded by the gym teacher, who also happened to be the baseball coach. That afternoon, the coach was picking the varsity and the junior varsity. When he came to me, he told me that I wasn't responsible or mature enough for varsity and designated me for the JV. Well, I was quite disappointed, to say the least, but played that year for the JV and actually had a good year. On the other hand, that was it for me, and I went out for track in my junior year. Well, to my surprise, I went from being an average ball player to setting a bunch of school records on the track. And to think it all happened because of that one incident of disobedience and immaturity, as the coach put it. By the way, I guess you can see why I chose not to relate this particular success story to my children as they were growing up. I felt there were too many mixed messages. Well, having made the decision to go in a different direction, I started to learn more about track and field and its history, becoming aware of the past and current outstanding performers and their achievements. I also began looking for a Catholic college with a good engineering program and hopefully a track team. Manhattan stood out with its long traditions in each of those areas. I was particularly impressed with the Jasper track history with the likes of then recent Olympians Lindy Rimagino, Ken Bantam, and Lou Jones. After selecting Manhattan, I joined the track team as a walk-on. I then realized that many of these great track guys I had been following were now my teammates. Guys like Larry St. Clair, who excelled in everything from the 400 to 5 miles. I was very impressed, to say the least, and it was a great feeling to be part of it. Everything happened very quickly after that. After my first meet performance in the broad jump was noted by Coach Eastman, I was awarded a scholarship. During my first indoor season, I led off our freshman mile relay team, and we beat the varsity in winning the senior Mets. By the way, that same team with Tom Green running the leadoff leg won the National AAU Indoor Mile Relay title for Tom. Toward the end of my career at Manhattan, I was competing in the indoor IC4As at Madison Square Garden. I had one jump left, and I was in third place. Well, just before I was about to jump, our field coach, Mr. Kintish, took me aside and gave me a motivational speech worthy of an Oscar. I then remember running down the runway in a total zone and wound up winning the event and setting a Manhattan record. Well, 30 years later, I was competing in a senior games meet in Florida and looked up to see Mr. Kintish officiating the jump. Well, fortunately, I didn't need his pep talk to win this one, but it did give me the opportunity to tell him what he meant for me that night in the IC4As. It was good. My athletic experience at Manhattan has ultimately spurred me on to continue competition at the master's level over the past 25 years. Well, many people have noted over that time that it has been a great hobby to have. However, coming out of the Manhattan track experience, it was a lot more than just a hobby. We really want to win. Also, in recent times, I have discovered another activity, singing and acting, which I have been active in very numerous venues throughout the country. My sweetheart, Carol, recognized this early on and wrote a musical in which I performed and which became the vehicle for a later life profession and which culminated in my being a recent finalist in the Florida Senior Idol contest. By the way, if you want to check it out, Google Bob O'Brien, Florida, and you can see the whole thing. In summary, I find myself being able to be here tonight as a result of my total experience at Manhattan. The academic and athletic traditions, the brothers and the other teachers, the inspiring coaches and teammates have all combined to afford a level of pride, commitment, and perseverance which effectively reinforce each other to provide me with a great opportunity to succeed. Fortunately, I was able to take advantage of it, which brought me here tonight. Thank you very much.
Our next inductee is Eugene Tanner, class of 2005. Fans, in 2002, the Manhattan College men's lacrosse team had the greatest season in program history. The Jaspers went undefeated in MAC play, won their first conference title, and played in the NCAA tournament for the first time. One of the biggest reasons for that success was Eugene Tanner. Tanner's 2002 season was arguably the best by a freshman, not just in Manhattan lacrosse history, but in MAC history as well. He led the team in both goals and points, while ranking second on the squad in assists. Tanner had 51 goals in 2002, a school record. That represents the second most for a single season in MAC conference history. And his 74 points also established a program record that still stands. Tanner's 3.19 goals per game average that season remains the most in MAC history. In addition to being named MAC Rookie of the Year, Tanner was a first-team All-MAC and MAC All-Tournament team selection that season. He continued setting records in 2003, becoming the fourth member of the program's 100-point club, and the first Jasper to reach the century mark as a sophomore. Tanner had a team-high 20 assists that season and ranked second on the squad with 39 points. Manhattan returned to the MAC championship game in 2004, and Tanner earned another first-team All-MAC selection after leading the Jaspers with 25 assists. He repeated as a MAC first-team All-Choice in 2005, where he again led the team with 21 assists. A two-time team captain, Tanner is the Jaspers' all-time leader in assists with 89, points with 186, and his 98 career goals are second most all-time. Earlier this year, he was selected to the MAC's 35th anniversary all-time second team, one of just 4 Manhattan College student athletes across all spring sports to be recognized. The Manhattan College Athletics Hall of Fame was created to honor the best student athletes ever to wear a Jaspers uniform. Eugene Tanner, class of 2005, certainly fits into that category, and it's only fitting that tonight he joins that elite company and takes his place as the 252nd inductee to the Manhattan College Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Eugene Tanner.
I'd first like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for the opportunity to take part in tonight's event. I'm not sure my name deserves to be next to professional athletes and Olympians, but I'll take it as an excuse to make my friends and family treat me as a celebrity for the night. It's particularly gratifying to have my older sister Erica here, as she has complained my entire life that as the youngest in the family, I've always received more attention than I should. I'd like to thank all my friends and family who are here supporting me tonight. The one area I can confidently say that I've outperformed in life is being able to surround myself with each of you. I'd also like to thank my teammates. As a goal scorer on the team, I've always received a disproportionate amount of credit for our success, with tonight being the most egregious example. It was a privilege to play with such a talented group of guys who were always there to pick me up or knock me down a peg when it was needed. I'd especially like to thank Gerard McCluskey, Nick Silva, and James Amendola, who took time out of their busy schedule to make tonight a reality. Choosing Manhattan 15 years ago has had a profound impact on my life. I've made lifelong friends, was able to experience playing in the NCAA tournament as part of our 2002 undefeated MAC championship team, and also had the ability to create some of my fondest memories with my father, who traveled to all our games. It's an honor to call myself a Jasper, and I'm happy I was able to contribute to a small piece of this institution's success. Thank you.
Our final inductee this evening is Michael Williams, class of 1996. Over its illustrious 100-year history, the Manhattan College track and field program has won an NCAA title and produced 12 NCAA championships in individual events and relays. One of those individual NCAA champions is Michael Williams, class of 1996. At the 1995 NCAA Indoor Championships in Indianapolis, Michael Williams posted a time of 1:48.27 in the preliminary round of the 800 meters, breaking the school record and qualifying for the final. In the final, he made the risky decision to run from the front. The strategy worked. Williams immediately broke from the inside and held the lead the entire way with a 1:48.12 clocking. He bettered his own school record and became the Jaspers' first NCAA champion in 7 years. Williams then went on to earn a top 10 finish at that year's NCAA Outdoor Championship. A native of Jamaica, he came to Manhattan after first being spotted at the 1990 World Junior Championships in Bulgaria, and once on campus, his impact was immediate. Williams competed in all track events up to 1,500 meters, as well as cross-country, regularly scoring in each. He was a key member of the 1992 IC4A championship team, contributing points in the 800 and the 4x400 meter relay. Williams also won metropolitan titles in the 500 and 800 meters, as well as the 4x400 and 4x800 meter relays. In addition, he ran the second leg on Manhattan's 4x400 relay squad that took third in the Championship of America at the 1993 Penn Relays. At the 1995 IC4A Indoor Championship, held just a week before the NCAA Championships, Williams finished second in the 500. Upon returning to Riverdale after winning his NCAA title, he noticed TV trucks in the Dratty Gymnasium parking lot and wondered if they were there to interview him. Always down to earth, his reaction when he found out it was actually for the men's basketball team, which had just received an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. His response was, "Okay, can we go to dinner now?" Well, Mike, tonight they are here for you. Please join us in welcoming Manhattan College's 253rd Hall of Fame member, Michael Williams.
Thank you very much. How many people here tonight, Coach Ryan? Another record for Michael Williams. Only Michael Williams could bring all these people out. All right, another record. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start out to congratulate all the other nominees and all the past nominees like Bob Burns, Coach Dwyer, Coach Ryan. Last but not least, Fred Dwyer. Where's that guy? Coach, where are you? Stand up, let me see you. Oh, he's short. Stand up, let me see you. Coach, I need to thank you. I need to thank you for believing in me. You took a flight to Jamaica, came to meet my mom. I don't know what you told her, but you got her to give me up. said, take him. That year, 1990, I was the record holder and the 1,500 meter record holder and at the boys championship that year. I was recruited by a lot of colleges in America. But as I said again, Coach Dwyer, I don't know what he did, what he said to my mom. And I signed a letter of intent my junior year to come to Manhattan College. So with signing that letter, I couldn't speak to any more colleges. Coach Dwyer was like, if you speak to anybody else, that's a breach of contract. So if they call, I could not talk to them at all. I asked my mom what he told him. He said, well, he promised me two things. He said, I'm going to take care of you for 4 years and then kick you out, but I'm going to make sure you get a college degree. She's like, I'm comfortable with that. My first semester at Manhattan College, it was like a culture shock for me. I'm like, oh man, I'm away from home, first time away from my family, and I messed up in school for that first semester. Coach did call my mom. And a Jamaican mom get that message. You don't want to hear, you don't want to be on the other line. So Coach put me in study hall for that semester. I had to go to study hall from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Coach then put his daughter in charge of study hall, so I can't even skip. Tara was in charge of study hall, so as soon as I'm 2 minutes late, Tara would call him. Coach Michael Williams is not here. So I make it my point of duty to make sure I'm there. One night, my second semester, I decided to stay in my dorms for an extra 15 minutes. I had a girl in my dorm. And Coach, that girl is my wife right now. She's my wife, okay? my grades went up that semester. The following year after that, my grades went up, and I told Coach, I said, all right, Coach, you could fire Tara now, I'll work for free. Because that 2 hours every night helped me so much, I'd volunteer to stay in study hall every night after that. And it helped me throughout my college years. Of my sophomore year now, Coach decided he had enough for me. He's leaving. I'm like, Coach, are you going to leave me? You promised my mom you'd be here for 4 years. Anyway, Coach Ryan and Coach Mecca stepped up to the plate, and they did a very good job. I want to thank Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns, where are you? That's the man over there. You believe in me? And Coach Becker, let's talk about NC's 800 meter for a minute. All right, we went to Indiana. I'll tell you the story. I went to Indiana. I was well prepared. I was ready to run. Coach Marty did a good job preparing me for that race. Coach Mecca was the head coach, so we went together with Eugene Stickley. It was 3 of us. In the heats, I broke the school record in the heats. I felt very good. Coach Mecca was very nervous. And when Coach nervous, he do something like this, always squeezing his lip. So I said, Coach, don't worry, Coach. I got this. I got this. Coach had a room beside me. I heard him over there all night. I didn't tell him this, but he was over there all night. He couldn't sleep. I wasn't sleeping either, but Coach couldn't sleep. Next morning early, he was banging on my door. Kiddo, are you ready? I said, yes, Coach, I'm ready. Went for breakfast. I said, Coach was still doing this. I said, Coach, don't worry, Coach, I have this. I said, if they want to beat me today, they have to catch me. And that's what I did. I took the race out, run from start to finish, and I broke the school record again. Thank you. When I finished the race and look across in the stands, there was Coach Mecca jumping like a high jumper. That's the highest I've seen him jump. I got two boys here sitting here. Michael and Matthew, please stand. I'm very proud of these two boys. They always wanted to challenge me. They call me old man. But none of them ever beat me in a track event before. And I still have the record in the basketball. None of them have beaten me yet. My wife, you stand up. Out of all my accomplishments in Manhattan College, getting my degree, winning an NCAA title, also won my beautiful wife, Ingrid. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy the evening, the rest of the evening. And I'm the anchor man. I'm the last person you're going to see. I usually bring the baton. Go Jaspers!
Well, let's hear it one more time for all of our inductees and all of our teams this evening. I usually take a few notes during the speeches, and I was drawn to just a couple of things that I thought I'd share with you. We've seen tonight overdue success in baseball and achievements for women in basketball, from overcoming injury and glass and rocks, passionate coaches and Captain Kangaroo, from Portugal to the Pinewood, the influence of volume drinking to the influence of coaches, the influence of track moms finding that right spot along the route, donning the Kelly green and white, and to memories of green shirts and a wink from your father, who put a racket in your hands as a child, and children who we hope are as lucky as us to maybe play at Manhattan. Speaking from the heart and wearing your heart on your sleeve, Manhattan sticking by you and you sticking by Manhattan. Whether it's the Jaspers or the Yankees, Mattingly or Johnson, bow-legged sprinters from Ireland. But the love of the sport, the love of the person, being more than a college, being a family. Rocky starts and the support of our coaches to bring us along the way, quality cheerleaders and a quality education, quality moms and dads, playing catch and playing whatever other roles needed. Following our athletes to becoming one of those athletes and walking on to setting records, Shy Jaspers becoming senior idols and our Manhattan idols. Celebrity status and family status, being picked up when you're knocked down, to being a part of Fred Dwyer's influence and the influence of our Jamaican moms. But being late and maybe finding your wife. Regardless, we have degrees, we have titles, we have wives, we have husbands, Jaspers all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our class of inductees this evening. Let's join me in one more round of applause for all of our inductees.